Hey everybody, this is Atesh and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how I use my computer as a guitar rig. I talked a little bit about this in my Istanbul video, Bap Bap Di Bap. I went to Istanbul to play a live jam session with my friends Gönenç and Hazar and Ahmet. In that video I talk a little bit about how I approach using my computer as a guitar rig basically, but that's a little more geared towards a live use. What I want to show you today is my live set that I use for Ateş Electric. So let's just jump into the project and see what I did. Okay, so I have my project open here. As you can see, this is my project I use for when performing live. And this has all my backing tracks. And as you can see, there are little adjustments. This is down by 6 dB. There's like little things like that. So this is where my backing tracks live. This track is for that. And this track is a little additions. So this one is also a backing track, but just like so I could blend it in nicely. It sits on a different track and little additions right here. Okay, so for this video, we're gonna talk a lot about automation. So let's go through what's happening, what I have on my tracks, first of all. So this is my Cleanish Crunch channel. And what I have here is this pedal board. I have a compressor. I have this vibrato that just kicks in. We're gonna get to that while we're looking at the automation. I have two sends and returns to these go to two buses. One is the Verb Suite or like a room sound. And then I have this delay. As you can see, I wipe out the low end here and then it goes into this repeater. This is just as regular as it comes. I don't do any adjustments here. No analog, no ping pong, no spread, just a regular delay. Those buses go directly to the stereo output, right? So let's see what I have in this track as well. Again, I have a pedal board just with some compressor. And I have my Forticali and just a little bit of an EQ. And again, these two buses. So when I first started doing this, what I was trying to do was put all the amps in one track and switch with automation, but that didn't really work out great because whenever you switched amps, you always had that clicking sound. So my solution to that was actually make two tracks, one for cleanish sounds, one for the full driven sounds. So they sit in their respective tracks. They're both on at the same time, as you can see. And all I have to do is automate the volume. So, okay, so the biggest thing that happens in this project is the automation. Let's see the automation. So if I can expand this, as you can see, I have many types of automation. Volume automation going through right here. As you can see, some parts are quieter, some parts are louder. This send, okay? So that's the reverb. So I have less reverb here and then more later on. Okay, so this is my second bus, which is the delay, adjusting the delay levels. And here I have bypass for the compressor. And here on the last channel, I have the hex drive from the Forticali active or inactive, basically. And that's for my clean track. The distortion channel, I have more stuff going on. First of all, I have a gate. So why is the gate automated, you might ask? Well, that's because I use two guitars and Legator has hotter pickups than the Tele. So that's for that. So let's see what else I have here. Of course, there's volume automation. Let's expand this a little bit. So as you can see, there's a lot of volume automation. One thing about this is like you have to spend a little time to actually carefully adjust these so it just sits right. Let's go to the next one, which is the panning. All right, so I don't have a lot of moments, but during some of the songs, there's this question and answer type of thing. So I want one guitar coming from the right, the other guitar coming from the left. So this enables me to do that. And here is my level of delay. All right. All right. So what I absolutely love about this is that you only have to worry about performing. What I think in terms of performing is that if I don't have to worry about something, then that's great. Imagine doing all that with your foot, you know, trying to adjust the levels and like doing the panning. And because, you know, essentially what I want is a really close sound to what I have on the album. So this is a way to do that. I'm fine with little things like turning on a drive, turning off a drive pedal, turning on a reverb delay. All that is good. But, you know, if I can not worry about it, then, you know, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's go to a part of the project so I can show you what actually happens. I have my Legator here. This is what I use for tunes that are tuned half step down. Right now, my Tele is tuned to standard tuning for some production purposes, so I'm not going to be showing you all of that. But quickly, if I have to show you what's happening in real time, this would be a good example. Let's go to a part where some of these changes are a little more apparent. So I have this part here that goes from a melody to a clean arpeggiated part. So as you can see, that's just going to go out and this is going to come, right? Okay, so starting from somewhere like. So that change happens by itself and like you don't need to worry about anything. So one thing I would make sure is that make sure to put everything in its own separate channel. And of course, set your buffer size so that there's no latency. Keep them all running at the same time. Just automate the volume so there's no clicks. Also, let's have a look at the mixer. As you can see, not much is going on here. And as you can see, I have nothing going on the master bus. This is set this way so that I can send audio to my OBS. Normally, it's not set up this way because if you add anything to your stereo out, anything you add in the chain is going to add a little bit of latency. So make sure not to do that. I love the usability of this because I can take this anywhere and all my setup, all my sounds are in there because now I can use some mixing tools such as the repeater, which I don't have in a pedal form. I love the sound of this, so why not use it, right? And this Verb Suite also, it's such a nice room sound. So it's really good in terms of using the plugins you used in your production right in there. And all I have to do now is like if I had different backing tracks, say I want to play with a drummer or a bass player, I can make backing tracks and just plug this in, use my amps, and you know, don't worry about the sound being the same. It is great for consistency. Of course, you can use it with different types of hybrid setups, but for my intents and purposes, this is just great. I love it. All right, so that's all for now. Thanks for joining in. I hope this was useful. Please like and subscribe and share it with your friends who might be interested. Ask me any questions you might have down in the comments. Thank you. Stay safe. Until next time.